Did this account get hacked? YouTuber TwoMad dead at 23. New sources say this national security threat has to do with Russia and space. I heard a rumor from a friend that there was a worry that he heard on the ground rumblings that Russia might be getting access to. Make him answer that question. Don't let him score him. He has no answer. He has absolutely no idea. He has no idea whatsoever. Don't let him get away from that. Can I just say, bro, this is some pussy shit, okay?
Just a little
Hold
crazy.
on. Let's just listen to this real quick.
Especially chat. When were these efforts, chat? When he was reviewing the albums and the things people were saying, rappers that killed people, dude. What do you think about the families that had dead people in it, right? When their guy says, yo, we blasted that fool in the head one tap with the Draco, man. What was that? How do you think their families feel like about him saying, guys, don't worry, guys, it's just a one kill, guys. Guys, it's just straight bullet, it's just a one tap. My bad, guys. It's just war. It is what it is, chat, and war, dude. You get one tap. Like, what? This argument is so guys, because if you're gonna do it one way, you gotta do it both ways.
Just want to say this opinion, anyone who boosted is endorsing open racism. Why are you assuming that all rappers are black people? That's the assumption xQc is jumping to. What, bro? It's 2024, okay? We're kind of past like hating black people. We don't even really hate gay people anymore, okay? The cool thing now is to hate trans people. Do you really think xQc is racist? You really think that's what's operating here is racism? Come on, bro. Get over yourself. It's so cringe. Black people watch anime now, okay? We're integrated. Who cares? Grow up. Fantano talking about a murderer's album.
Nice, that one went even harder. Though the Herbo feature was a little short, though. But hey, for those of you who are interested, the King Von project, the posthumous one, it's out now. It's out now. If you're seeking it out, check it out.
Wait, hold on. Fuck! Don't make me defend Fantano! No!
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Beautiful morning.
No! Don't make me defend Fantano. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. Okay? Can I give you some bad faith help? Can I give you some bad faith help? You should have cut this clip like 5 seconds earlier. Couldn't Fantano respond to this and say, this guy is dead. Covering his music is a lot different than covering somebody who's alive and contributing harm to the world? That's what he said, right? He said posthumous or whatever? Posthumous?
For those of you who are interested in the King Von project, the posthumous one, it's out.
Posthumous? That means he's dead, right? Or am I missing? Is that a different word? I only see this word typed. It's like posthumous. He covered him when he was alive as well? Okay, well you should have posted that one then, not him covering the thing when he's dead, okay? Fitzmanzi, I see. King Von is credited with multiple murders. Thank you for putting that in chat. Unfortunately, you're on a 7-day break because you typed it 5 times.
Now, I don't give a shit if he burned down some churches. I don't care if he murdered a guy. I really don't care if he's racist. If he comes out with an album in the future that I find interesting, I will welcome it with open arms.
Much better. This is a much better clip. However, yeah, okay, I was gonna say this. If this sounds like it was a long time ago. I don't know if I would necessarily hold this against him. Statement from Chairman Representative Mike Turner. Today, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence has made available to all members of Congress information concerning a serious national security threat. I'm requesting that President Biden declassify all information relating to this threat so that Congress, the administration, and our allies can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to this threat. White House response. Oh, hold on.
Imminent, or he doesn't say imminent, serious national security threat. The lack of your ability to say anything has the potential to raise distress for some Americans. In the simplest of terms, can you tell Americans that there's nothing they have to worry about right now?
Hold on, actually. Where am I? Josiah, get in here. Or IRI, or how ordinary is it? How normal is it that a committee is saying, hey, like publicly, you need to declassify something? That kind of seems a little bit cucked. Seems like a weird thing to do, no? If you really feel like it needs to be... What? Bro, how many dead people do I have on my Discord friends list? Is this a meme account? Did I get trolled? At TMZ, 7.5 million. Did this account get hacked? YouTuber TwoMad dead at 23. Investigate as possible OD. Do you think that Kanye's anti-Semitic rants could have done more harm to society as a whole than a murderer? I mean, almost certainly, but that's not even because that doesn't even mean anything in terms of what a person's saying bad or good. Like, I've probably done more in some ways. I'm sure I've harmed society more than a murderer, and I'm sure that I've like helped society more than a doctor. Just because like when you start communicating with a lot of people, it's really easy for that harm or good to stack up like a lot. So it's like a weird question to ask. Like, let's say that by virtue of listening to my stream, let's say like 10 people decided to go to med school. Like, well, is that helping society more than if I would have been a doctor? But 10, like, it's just like a weird thing to say. Like, does a person that communicates with a ton of people help or hurt more? Or what if you're a conservative? Or what if 10 people have listened to me, and because of listening to me, they decided to join like the IDF, and then one of them like shoots and kills, like 3 or 4 Palestinian people? Like, technically I did worse for society than like a single murderer did who killed one person, right? It's a weird thing to try to compare like one person who speaks to a lot of people. Are they better or worse for society than one person that's one action? It's just like a weird, yeah. Do you think it's a valid criticism to Fantano then? I think it's valid to say you don't want to review Kanye West because you feel like he does anti-Semitic shit. That's valid. The only cucked thing is it's weird that we have such standards for that when you're in rap reviews. And it's like, if you are reviewing highly problematic rappers, because rap has had a cyclical problematic feedback loop that it is breaking with the black community in terms of things like misogyny, homophobia, gang, drug, not embodiment. When you take something, you idolize it, idolization culture, whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, these are issues. So the problem is people think that he probably just doesn't want to do the Kanye shit because he's like a woke cuck leftist. So as long as it's from black people and as long as it's like about like black culture and it's bad, that's okay. Yeah, drill rap or whatever is fine. But if it's Kanye and Kanye is like not cool with the woke people for whatever reason, then it's not okay. I think that's weird. Damn, TwoMad is dead? What was the last thing that he tweeted? Wumpus Wave. Okay. Well, rip on into the ethers, my friend. Damn. Guys, listen, if you're gonna kill yourself, at least wait until you're 30. Bro, imagine being a young, healthy man. He's probably still got good hairline, good testosterone, decently smart. Fuck. There's like so much shit you've got in your life into the future. And you, damn, they should be a crime to kill yourself that young. He lost a ton of weight, true. 13 reasons why. Redodges why? Was this just a typo or did he actually... He had allegations against him? Yeah, but they weren't being pursued criminally, were they? Didn't he fuck Belle Delphine and shit on his... I don't know if he fucked her, but he did like a shoot or something with her.
Now, in terms of what he describes as a national security threat.
Look, I think in a way that question it is impossible to answer with this.
Yeah, it's such a weird question. Like, hey, are we going to be safe from everything, including a threat that you may or may not declassify? Like, what the f*** are you supposed to say?
Great, yes, right? Because Americans understand that there are a range of threats and challenges in the world that we're dealing with every single day. And those threats and challenges range from terrorism to state actors. And we have to contend with them, and we have to contend with them in a way where we ensure the ultimate security of the American people. I am confident that President Biden, in the decisions that he is taking, is going to ensure the security of the American people going forward. And I will stand here at this podium and assert that, look you in the eye with confidence that...
Hello? Who joined?
Josiah, you rang?
Yeah, what the f*** are you supposed to say when like a committee publicly says, can you declassify something that might be a serious threat? I feel like there are so many weird political games you could play with this.
Yeah, I mean, Sullivan's handling it the best you can, but that's why typically people don't do that. So Turner, because of his position on the House Intelligence Committee, he's privy to like certain declassified information, and he's supposed to be meeting with Sullivan and intelligence officers at the White House, tomorrow. So that's what's super fucked. Like, he did something really rare, and he did it in advance of a meeting where he's going to get more information about it tomorrow. It seems super irresponsible. Like, even Mike Johnson is like telling reporters, hey, don't worry about it. No need to panic. So I don't know why Turner did what he did, but it is unusual for a member of Congress to publicly request that the president declassify information about an ongoing threat.
Okay,
Probably
listen.
wouldn't be unusual.
Can you do me a huge favor? Okay.
What?
Wait, did you talk to Jack?
Not yet.
Did you text him?
No, not yet. Dude, I've been.
What do you mean not yet? I'm getting you big connects. I need you to talk to these people, okay? Don't make me look bad, okay? And you need to be in your best behavior. Okay. Listen, okay? Just in case, okay? 'Cause I know you're on your little blow up right now, okay? Just in case you get bigger than me, you forget the small guys who was behind, okay? I need you to do me a favor. We need to do this, okay? As a result of the combination of all of my Israel-Palestine research and all of my January 6th research, okay? I'm feeling I got big surges of American patriotism, all right? Conservatives are not good Americans.
This country.
Yeah, can
They hate
we,
this country. Yeah.
as a result of pivoting away from the Trump shit and everything, just as part of your rhetoric, okay, can we please try to take back patriotism from conservatives, please? We need to do this.
100%.
I think it's
100%.
really important, okay?
It's an untapped reservoir of
It is.
like political mobilization, 100%. Like, that's why when in all my videos where I've been bitching about, Republicans wanting to anoint Trump God King and make him absolutely immune from anything, the adjective I use above all others is that they're un-American. Even more than fascistic and authoritarian, they're just un-American. It's the most un-American sentiment you could possibly have, wanting to put one man above the Constitution. Super gross. I completely agree.
Okay.
You can still be a patriot and without being uncritically, you don't have to uncritically worship the country. You can still, as a component of patriotism, want to improve it. So I don't think it's mutually exclusive with liberalism or progressivism at all. And I think that we have done ourselves a great disservice just seeding the ground on that. It's insane. I think people don't like to live in a country I don't think people living in a country like to think that they're expected to have disdain for their country. So I agree.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
New sources say this national security threat has to do with Russia and space. I heard a rumor from a friend who is a streamer who spent some time in Ukraine. I'm not going to specify any further than that. That there was a worry that he heard on the ground rumblings that Russia might be getting access to Starlink. Do you think it could have to do with that? This is way open information. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, Elon denied it? Also, wait. I feel like space weapons would be really dog shit. Like, what? It's just, there's such good conventional ground weapons. Why would you want to manage some bullshit from space? Especially some shit that can get shot down so easily that the whole universe can literally see, no? A nuke dropped from space would do a bunch of damage, I bet. All nukes come from space. That's how ICBMs work. You can't shoot down stuff in space. It will cause a huge debris issue. Bro, there's already a huge debris issue in space. Unironically, actually, shooting down something in space, I think, is one of the ways that you prevent a debris issue, is by shooting it down. Because usually when stuff is... Where's Erin at? She would know this. I think usually when you decommission stuff from space, it usually drops into a lower orbit, and then I think it takes a while for it to finally burn out. But that process can take years, I think. You can do a lot of damage just dropping a big enough rock. You can figure out how to properly aim it. Can you? The problem is that, oh God, how do we do this? I think the issue is when is there a way to make it so it's dotted? I don't know. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, we all played Kerbal Space Program. We're orbital experts. This is the orbital expert stream. I think the issue with dropping stuff from outer space is that if you're able to fire something up, in order to actually drop that, because if you're going to deorbit something, you don't want it to deorbit like this, right? Because if it comes in at this huge angle, it's going to burn very slowly. The atmosphere is going to bleed off a ton of kinetic energy. And when it finally fucking hits the ground, you've bled off so much kinetic energy and you've actually physically burned off material in the atmosphere. It'd be really hard. But to drop something straight down onto the planet is incredibly difficult because you have to you have to burn off like so much. You'd have to put like a rocket booster on whatever thing you're shooting, and it would take a lot of, I think it would take a lot of fuel to a point where I don't even know if it would be worth it. Why wouldn't you just shoot missiles? Wait, rods from God? The rods from God? Ian Miles Chung execution rumors? No way! Ian and Coach Red Pill in the same year? Not good. I wouldn't celebrate it. I'm not celebrating that. I would not celebrate that. But god damn!
All right, before I even start this video, I have to say this is not real. Allegedly. Some people think it is, some people think it isn't. I'll give you my opinion at the end. So, today we're talking about kinetic bombardment, which is just the United States Air Force's rebranding of the oldest unhealthcare technique known to mankind. Dropping heavy stuff on people that you don't like. Buh, can't swear for the first 30 seconds. Buh. You see, it all started in 1967 at the height of the space race. Pretty much all the countries on the planet got together and signed a treaty that basically said we're not going to drop WMDs on each other from outer space. Yes, America and the Soviet Union both signed this, surprisingly. Fast forward to 2003 and the American Air Force decides they're going to lose all of their chill. They crack open the rule book and start looking for loopholes. That's when they realize
Different firing trajectory makes it harder to predict such events. How? Wouldn't you're tracking everything in space. No, it's not like you could hide it up there. It's space.
that a weapon of mass
Unless you launch like fake satellites and hide it in there, but I feel like we would know. Maybe not, I don't know.
destruction is defined as a nuclear weapon, a biological weapon, or a chemical weapon. So they proposed making a weapon system that was none of those things. Basically, they wanted to put a satellite into orbit and fill it full of tungsten rods that were 20 feet long and 1 foot in diameter, and then merely drop them on bad guys from outer space. The theory being that it would generate the same destructive force as a nuclear warhead, but it wouldn't have any radioactive fallout. Yeah, Uncle Sam's trying to have a vegetarian option for weapons of mass destruction. A vegan nuke, if you will. Because, well, it's never a war crime the first time. Can't be illegal if I just made it up. It takes a lot to surprise me when it comes to the American healthcare system, but even I'm surprised that they legitimately proposed making the grunt caveman version of the Death Star. Who needs a giant laser beam when you could just yeet metal telephone poles at people from outer fucking space, apparently. Yeet's not even the right term, they just gotta Elsa that shit. Let it go! Let gravity do all the dirty work. But saying it has the same destructive power as a nuke is just simply not true. But a lot of people don't believe.
You also have to be careful because, like, I'm being a huge KSP loser right now. You can't just drop something from outer space. If you were a satellite up here, if you're in this orbit and you're right here, and then you drop something, it's just gonna float alongside you. It's just gonna float with you. If you're up here and you put a big pole here and then you fire a rocket booster to send it right into the Earth, it's still gonna like go in this direction. It's still gonna take some time to like break through the atmosphere. It's traveling 7,000 miles per hour as well. Remember, velocity is two components. It's a speed and a direction. It's traveling 7,000 miles per hour, but it's not traveling 7,000 miles per hour at the Earth. It's in orbit. You have to deorbit it. So if you put anything right here, you would have to put a ton of fuel here to deorbit this so that it would fall in a relatively straight line. But at that point, here's what I'm curious about. It's a physics question. It might actually be the case. My question would be, is like, if you expend this much fuel to deorbit a giant hunk of metal, wouldn't it be better to just blow this fuel up on the planet? Ugh, you.
Hello.
I didn't get to even finish telling you both all my stories, okay? What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, you're a, well, originally I was gonna talk about you being a fucking liar, okay?
Uh-oh.
Do you want to know what you lied about? Does everyone want to know what you lied about?
That you didn't actually go to the Goodwill and get that shirt?
Well, actually, yeah, unironically, it was a good call. I did get that from Goodwill, but we're moving past it.
Okay, I didn't know that. You did look good, though, by the way. You look super fly. I think you know that, though. Go ahead.
No, it's that you fucking, in that tweet, you said you played basketball with the, I bet my heart, my soul, and the soul of my firstborn child you've never played basketball in your life.
Okay, hold on. What did I say in the tweet? What did I say in the tweet?
Could you imagine this guy with some
What did I say in the tweet?
I could not believe it.
I said,
no
hold
way.
on. I've shot hoops with people. Have you ever played horse?
Wait.
I wasn't playing half court, motherfucker. Yeah, obviously. No, I suck. We shot some hoops. That's it.
Shot a hoop?
We shot
You're
hoops.
Not talking about basketball?
We played horse.
You
No, we're not
shoot
playing
hoops?
half court. We're not playing full court. No, we just shot some hoops. Throw the basketball up there.
I've never in my life heard somebody say shoot hoops and have it not mean an actual game of basketball, at least half court.
Well, how much time have you spent on the court then, kid?
Actually, I played at a very high level in middle school.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually, the reason why I joined, though, was over the space shit, unironically.
You joined basketball over the space shit in middle school?
I joined the f***ing call, you dumb.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. We topic changed.
Sorry.
My God.
I was
Okay,
almost,
sorry, go
I was
ahead.
almost racist, almost. You brought it out of me,
good.
bro.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Because it seems like you're trying to discuss, like, what, space weapons, right?
I guess, yeah.
Like, why, I thought, like, a main issue for a lot of the weapons that were going up in space wasn't, like, harming people on the ground, but harming other, like, systems in space. So it'd be, like, lasers or some other form of kinetic weapons that would be used to assault, like, our satellite arrays. Not even, like, harming people on the ground, but just disrupting our ability to communicate between ourselves.
That's true. I think I've heard that before. That, like,
I think that was the primary, like, issue, because, like, of this, like, kinetic, like you were talking about with ICBMs, like, if somebody drops a nuke from space, it's pretty similar to what already happens with nukes, which is they go up in space anyway. So
yeah,
I thought the big thing was, fears of EMPs, some form of laser or disruptive weapons towards our satellites that would make it difficult to be able to communicate.
Yeah, that might be an issue. Yeah, although I mean, I have no idea what the legality is on it. I can't speak to any of that, but it could be a thing. I literally can't say anything. I don't know anything. Fuck all.
Well, yeah, I don't know about the legality of it as well, but I thought that it was just
legality is pretty important, because I think if you start around in space, you're gonna piss the whole world off, I think. Somebody says that you can shoot things in space from a railgun. So the problem in space is that, like, every single thing is. Okay, we're not gonna get into this much. God, I can't believe KSP2 was such a fucking disaster, because it'd be so much fun to do another KSP arc. I don't want to do all the physics explanations because all this AIDS shit. Okay, the problem is every single movie that you've seen having to do with, like, space stuff is wrong. Okay, no one has any idea truly how anything works, because space is weird, because in space nothing is stationary. All right, everything is orbiting, and orbits. It's not even that everything is moving. It's that everything is orbiting. So you already have everything is non-stationary, which makes things confusing. And the velocity is always changing. Remember, velocity is a direction and a speed. So when you're in an orbit, your speed, even if your speed is constant, your velocity is changing every single moment through this orbit, right? So everything's really, really, really complicated in space. If you had a machine here, okay, let's say that you had a thing here, all right? Somebody said that it shoots it with a rail gun. If you shoot it, right, you obviously you can't just shoot it straight down, because if you shoot it down, it's inheriting this tangential velocity, right? So if you shoot it down, it's going to take this weird path to where it's going to start to, like, it'll slowly go to the planet, but you're going to lose so much of your kinetic energy burning through the atmosphere. Okay, now somebody might say, somebody might be a little bit smarter, like, okay, well, yeah, Destiny, obviously, duh, you wouldn't shoot it down, you would shoot it back. Right? So technically the direction, if you want to get it to, if this is going at, we'll say 7,000 miles per hour, okay, and you want to shoot something to fall straight into the planet Earth, what you would do is tangential opposite to your orbit, you would shoot it in this direction at 7,000 miles per hour, right? So if you shoot it behind you at that speed, it'll drop in free fall. However, I think the problem is that if you do that, this thing is going to deorbit after a while, right? If you're shooting these massive physical rods, remember, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. In order to shoot something back, you have to bleed velocity off here in the form of kinetic energy, so you're going to be traveling slower now. And if you travel too slow, you're going to start to deorbit. Now, you could also put fuel on this thing, so that every time you shoot a rod back, you also have fuel to accelerate you, so that you're using chemical potential energy to make up for the kinetic energy you just lost in order to fall. But at this point, why not just shoot missiles? This sounds so retarded. Why would you not just shoot missiles at this point? There's, like, so much shit going on to throw a big rod onto the planet. This sounds retarded. Destiny, no? What am I knowing about? Wouldn't shooting it behind you increase your velocity? Oh, no, wait. You're shooting retrograde. So you would gain velocity. Correct. I'm sorry, wait. That was the opposite. But even though that was the opposite, the principle is still the exact same. If you shoot it retrograde, you'd still have to burn prograde to bring your orbit back. I'm sorry, you're right. If you shoot it backwards, it's going to boost your orbit, but then you would still have to shoot something in front of you. Or wait. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. We're engineering. What if we had rods that we shot in the front and in the back? So we could do both. Then we're boosting and deboosting using our projectile weapons. Oh, okay, hold on. Never mind. I take it back. Maybe it is possible. All right, let's hear what this guy says. The guy that has to record himself in 6-second clips.
Believe that thanks to movies like G.I. Joe.
Does the ISS deorbit every time the shuttle undocks? I think the ISS always has to constantly boost itself and make corrections, because I think it's in an orbit that's too low for stability, I think, right? Because it's still in, the atmosphere is still too thick, I think.
And the Call of Duty Ghost video game that portrays it as being more powerful than a nuclear warhead. Which it simply just isn't. Buh! How do you know? Buh! Fucking math. Math is how I know. Look, a 20-foot rod of tungsten that was—
Oh, that's true too. Shooting a rod at 7,000 miles per hour. What is the force that would have to be applied to that? That would be crazy. Sorry.
1 foot in diameter would weigh approximately 24,000 pounds. Propelled by nothing but gravity, it would travel at a speed of Mach 5. Upon impact, it would generate the destructive force of approximately 3 to 4 tons of TNT, which is about equivalent to that of the Moab bomb.
Okay, hold on, wait, I need to fix it right now. How do I get rid of standing notifications on my phone? I don't need you to tell me when I need to stand up. Yes, I have an office job. I sit down all day. Why do you make me feel like shit? What do I have? Is it Heart Watch or is it Health? What is this app? Wait, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel bad. I don't need this.
Bomb, or commonly referred to as the mother of all bombs, which is the largest non-nuclear bomb ever dropped. By America, of course. America, fuck yeah! But when you compare that to an actual nuclear warhead, it's not even close. For example, Fat Man, one of the bombs dropped during World War II, had the destructive force of 20 kilotons of TNT. If you don't know, kilo means—
Wait, this is like a TikTok video. There's not even gonna be the fat electrician. Is there gonna be any physics here, or was it just those 3 math equations?
1,000. I still have no idea.
Apple Watch settings, it's in the activity tab. Oh wait, hold on. The orbital strikes can hit Mach 10. They'd be almost impossible to start. How fast do ICBMs go? How fast do ICBMs go? Holy shit, 15,600 miles per hour. How fast is Mach 10? Oh my God. It's 7,200 miles per hour. What is this, like Mach 14? Mach 20? Holy shit. Just open the settings app on the Apple Watch. Oh. Okay, open settings app on the Apple Watch and scroll down until you see activity. Notifications, general, focus, airplane, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, display, app view, gestures, action button, accessibility, Siri, sounds, passcode, SOS, battery, security, app, calculator, clock, compass, contacts, hand washing, health, heart, wallet, and workout. I don't have that. Do you think it'd be under my heart app? Hold on. Nope. Health? Nope. Okay. I'll just look on my phone later. Okay.
Idea what the fuck a meter is though, or a Celsius for that matter. Quit
Activity
measuring
is the
temperature
green
based off
Running Man
water. It's
app?
dumb. Use Fahrenheit. It's the easiest thing on the planet. 0's cold as f, 100's hot as f. Hashtag science. So a rod from God would have the destructive force of 4 tons of TNT versus 20,000 tons of TNT of one of the earliest nuclear bombs ever used. So you're off by a factor of about 5,000. So if it's not as destructive as a nuclear warhead, what would the actual advantage be? Well, it would be virtually unstoppable. You see, with a Moab or a nuclear warhead, you either have—
Okay, I don't care about this anymore. Ukrainska Pravda sources in GUR claim the Russian Cesar Kunik Project 775 landing ship was sunk by drones. A Russian channel claims the crew is alive. Bro, do you think this is a war where the belligerent has lost more ships in the history of all of war kind to an enemy that doesn't have a navy? Ukraine doesn't have a navy, do they? The video reportedly shows something burning off on the coast of Crimea and helicopters are spawning. Rybar criticized the command of the Black Sea Fleet. Video from GUR of the attack. Also, where are all of our like layered sea defenses and shit? What's going on here? Oh my god! Like, what is happening here? Is this thing on like a? Is this like a? It looks like a jet ski. I saw that comment from chat. I tried to pass it off as my own. I'm sorry. I feel ashamed. Oh my god! If this is a jet ski bomb, that's extra funny. There's like a twinge of irony here, I guess, because I'm pretty sure the Houthis not hijacked, but they basically stole a bunch of boats after they kicked out people from, is it Hadaidar, that port or whatever? And they made all of these boats into like IEDs. They'd put bombs and shit on the boats. Oh my god. And they'd like crash them into things, which is like kind of sort of in a roundabout way being supported by Iran. So it's kind of funny. And Iran is kind of supported by Russia, so. To be fair, the point of the Navy is to be at sea, just like the point of the Air Force is being in the air. Standing there makes you supremely vulnerable. Yeah, kind of. Somebody was bringing this up before. Oh, that one, the very, very pro-Israeli guy from 2 days ago, Hasley, was bringing up how crazy it was that Israel was spending money on submarines and shit. Having domination in the water does actually give you the ability to fight better on land. I'm not sure if people are aware of that or not, because I let the guy just kind of, I didn't say anything about it. But I remember reading during the, reading during the, I don't know if it was the Suez Crisis or if it was the 6-Day War, but Israel having supremacy in the seas actually gave them the ability to like launch missiles at ground positions from the Mediterranean. Like, it does actually help. It does confer some ground advantage there. And it also prohibits the enemy from closing straits and waterways for other shit too, but yeah.
Yep. Do you support this bill? Do you support us continuously sending money their way? While many of these guys, this is their war. We're fighting their war and they're not paying the bill. We're paying the bill for NATO and Russian European allies to be protected. Why are we taking the debt for this? Do you support that?
There needs to be an understanding here that we can't just continue to have a blank check. But to say zero, I feel like minimalizes U.S.'s power in the world as a global superpower. So what are the ripple effects of saying nothing? So we're just okay with Putin invading Ukraine and taking over Ukraine? Are we just okay with Xi invading Taiwan? Are we just okay with terrorism running rampant around the globe? Because if we don't...
Why is it the only shows I've done with Adam are talking about, like, did you see the celebrity crush and who divorced who? God, fuck. He seems like he has, like, some kind of, like, political takes and shit that would have been interesting. Yeah.
Do anything, what happens? What happens? Look at what's going on in the Middle East. If we step away, power vacuums are formed. And all of a sudden, our enemies that are running rampant around the world will step in and fill that vacuum.
So your fear is that if we don't do anything, Putin's going to get stronger. That's what your fear is.
I think doing nothing sends a signal to autocrats around the world that U.S. will do nothing when we do what we want to do.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do when Russia went from spending 80% when it was trade dollars, using U.S. dollars, to now down to 13%, and the transaction went from only 3% being won to now 30%? What are you going to do when we keep spending this money and printing the money, and then all of a sudden one day the dollar collapses, then you're being affected by the money? Are you now going to come back?
The dollar is going to collapse because Russia is holding more foreign reserve currency in yen, or is trading more with China than with the U.S.? What? What?
I can say I wish we wouldn't have sent all this money out there, because the way this typically works is when we all become involved parties is when it starts making direct impact to us. When we start feeling direct impact, then we say what? Well, I don't know if we're doing the right thing with this or not. It's not cool. Like this whole thing with Governor Hochul. What does she say?
Kathy Hochul.
Kathy Hochul, whatever her name is. Governor Hochul.
New York.
She says, we welcome you. We welcome you, right? Over here, we appreciate you. And then they're like, oh, really? Okay. Here's a few thousand illegal migrants. No. You guys got to leave. Eric Adams, no. You guys got to leave. Oh, what happened? Oh, when
have you been on the show yet? I was on the show one time, but there was some crazy, like, self-schooler woman, homeschooler. She didn't call it homeschool. She called it, like, I don't know. It was just cringe.
Impacted by it. It's a noble thing to do. The moment, boom, it hits your security and safety and your finances, then you're like, nah, man, I'm not for this. So all I'm saying is for us,
did she call it unschooling or home education or something? She didn't like homeschool for a reason. I remember what it was, yeah.
Situation like this, as much as they trashed the guy, the previous president, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. You know, there was no wars going on. Now we got all these wars going on. Who's making all the money here? And on the back end, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, I don't know, whichever one it was, Rob, if you can pull these guys up, they're getting a $400 billion contract to rebuild Ukraine. Type in 400 billion rebuild Ukraine, okay?
It's like the Marshall Plan on steroids.
Is this the one, Rob? It's a story that was written about. If you can go back, it'll be one of the stories. You type in news. You just type in news, you'll see it. So $400 billion, these guys are like fantastic right there. No, that's not it. It's another one. I'll find it. I'll send it.
You're right. While I was pulling it up, can I...
400 billion rebuild Ukraine. What? Does BlackRock even own a construction company? What does this mean? Consultancy.eu. This is from like a year and a half ago. What is he even referring to? Maybe you'll find it.
That's right. It's like Halliburton got in Iraq 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what you do, your analogy with Kathy Holcomb in New York, Governor of New York, I think is spot on. So I'm not going to give you pushback. That what I will say is what you're talking to is about the BRICS. You know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. We'll see what happens with that. Putin mentioned that in the interview as well. That is a concern of the U.S. dollar and the crumbling of the U.S. dollar, but that's been ongoing well before the Russian war. Sanctions in U.S. dollar. Russia's been. When was BRICS originally formed? 2005. Find that, Rob. So this war,
BRICS isn't even real. Who cares?
Much as it is sort of coalesced in that conversation, that is 2009. The war started in Ukraine in 2002. So the BRICS, that's already been formulated prior.
The war in wait, what did he say?
2. So it is 2009. The war started in Ukraine in 2002. So the BRIC.
Do you mean 2022? Or, yeah, he meant 20. Yeah, okay.
That's already been formulated prior to what's going on here. But yes, it is exacerbating the problem. No doubt.
But isn't it unbelievable?
Can you just pull it up to just show the 400 billion, Rob?
Yeah.
Just go to the link you just showed real quick.
Isn't it unbelievable though, Adam? Last week it was 118 billion. Let's protect our border. With Ukraine and Russia. So, now it's to hell with the border. We don't give a shit about us. We have to help them. And if you're not asking the question of why, it's unbelievable. Hold on, Adam, because you said you still didn't really answer the question. Are you cool with the $95 billion? Are you cool with that? Just going?
Well. Listen,
yes or no?
I'm not cutting that check. But
no, yes, you are.
The hell you aren't.
Yeah, you are.
So, hold on.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, just relax. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How much money should we send our allies around the world? You give me a number. Let's say I'm cool with the 95. I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it?
Tell me how much.
Wait.
Make
him answer that question. Don't let him score him. He has no answer. He has absolutely no idea. He has no idea whatsoever. Don't let him get away from that. Please. He's not going to answer. He's not going to answer. Okay. I can't watch the rest of this. I'm going to try, but if he doesn't answer that question, I can't watch the rest of this. Or he's going to say 0.
Let's say I'm cool with the 95. I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it?
Tell me how much.
Absolutely 0.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on, absolutely 0.
So you're an isolationist.
No, I am an America first. America first. Adam, how can we're a sinking ship.
We can still deal with the border as a separate bill.
That's bullshit. No, we can't.
You guys are talking out of both sides of your mouth, and I'll tell you why.
How?
Because you're like, it's called the border bill, but all the money went to Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan. Okay, cool. So now the border bill can be addressed independently as a single issue.
Adam, let me ask this. And by the way we're feeling is the way America's feeling. Okay, meaning some are feeling like him, some are feeling like me, some are feeling like you and Tom. But America's feeling like this. This is not just a conversation that's taking place here. Here's a question I want to ask you. Okay. So let's just say your kids are going to private school, okay? And you're down to your last $22,000 in the bank. You and your wife are married. You got 3 kids, okay? And you had a setback. Your wife had a job. She got fired. She was bringing in 82 grand a year, okay? And you can't count on that now. That 82 is gone. And you need to find a way to pay for this bill to go to school this next month, $1,500. Let's say $2,500, $800 a kid, right? I come to you and I say, hey, Adam, I need $6,000. And you say, what do you mean you need $6,000? I need $6,000. Before you give me the $6,000, who are you going to talk to? Your wife.
Probably going to talk to your wife.
Which you're supposed to do that. So you go talk to your wife and you say, hey, babe, Pat needs money, man. I want to give him $6,000. What do you think your wife's going to say?
This is something that's so annoying, and he should not. Okay, I need to undo this real quick. Hold on. Individual finances are not the same as corporate finances, which are not the same as a state's finance. To try to compare like personal finances of like, we've got to budget the household, like the America needs to budget itself. Like, the fuck are you talking about, bro? You can't make currency as a household. You don't collect taxes. Like, it's a totally, you don't do trade. You don't like, it's households are nowhere near compatible with even how a corporation spends its money, and are not compatible with how states or countries spend their money. It's just, I hate these comparisons. They're so dumb.
We need that money for our kids.
She's going to say, babe, are you kidding me? We have $20,000. We're down to 20. We had 100 last year. I had a job. I lost it. That 82,000. I can't get another job. The bill is due. How are you going to pay that $2,500? You want to give Pat $6,000? I know he's your friend. I know you want to help him. But bro, you got to pay your 25 for the kids first. You're like, no, I'm going to pay to Pat first. What is the responsible thing for you to do?
Well, it sounds like your kids aren't going to private school anymore. It sounds like they need to be enrolled in public school at that point. If that's the only money you have.
Perfect. Stay, okay, let's go there as well. By the way, you're even taking my argument to a better place. I agree. So guess what? Let's remove some entitlement programs we have in America. Sure. Let's play that card. So now you put them in public school. So now your wife's convinced you to take your kids out of private school, put them in public school. Are you still giving me the $6,000?
Well, it depends on what your $6,000 is.
You shouldn't be playing in this hypothetical at all. You shouldn't be doing it at all. Like, let's say that your son comes up to you and he's like, Dad, I made like 20 friends because you gave me like $500. Can you give me like $1,000 more? And your dad's like, have you made any money? You're like, well, no, but like I'm networking a lot. It's like, okay, you give him $1,000. Then he comes back again. He's like, listen, Dad, I'm actually in debt like $150,000. Can you give me like $1 million? I guess, like, this is the last time. Okay, cool, Dad. And then he comes back and your kid's like, I made like 5 million friends. I have like 5 million friends, but also I'm in debt like $35 million. I'm bleeding money every single fucking month. I have no path to monetization. Can you give me more money? You would say, obviously not, but this is the history of like every successful tech company in America. Corporate finances and individual finances are not the same, and neither are country finances compared to a corporation or compared to a house, right? Hey, times are tough right now, guys. What should we do? Well, as a corporation, consumer demand is down. We might have to cut some employees. We have to cut back our spending a ton, right? What do you do as a household? We're not making as much money. Dad got laid off. Time to cut our finances. What do you do as a country? You have to spend. You don't cut government expenditures in a fucking recession. That's what we did in the Great Depression. A horrible idea, right? You don't do austerity when your economy is dying. You print and you stimulate as much as you can because you need that financial stimulus to keep your economy going to avoid depression. The financial policies of governments and of corporations and of individuals are never related. They have nothing to do with one another. The way that these guys utilize money is completely different. Don't ever fall for this weird thing of like, well, how would you balance your household budget like the federal government? No, motherfucker, I'm not the federal government, so I wouldn't.
Am I getting return on my investment?
Okay, so now you're thinking from the perspective of investment. This is not an investment. You're not going to get the money back.
This is well, if Trump wants this to be a loan,
you are not getting this money back. No, that's BS. This is not a money coming back. You're never going to see a penny of me ever again. And you've been giving me money.
You're investing in the global world order.
You're investing.
No, there's no chaos.
You're investing in a friend.
We're just not like the Houthi situation. We're just going to let them just run like rebels in the Red Sea.
This is not Houthis. Russia's not Houthis.
That's part of it.
Stay with this.
That's part of it.
So let's just say you give me the money, okay?
Yeah.
And you keep giving me the money. What I do is by you giving me the money is my wife and I, we have a lesser chance of being separated. I stop calling you and bitching about my finances. So now you're like, well, Ma, babe, I'm giving them the money so they can stay together. Meanwhile, your wife is like, bro, you may not stay together with me of what you're doing. So you trying to save here is affecting your life. That's what American people are having a hard time with. They're having a hard time with this concept to say, you just fooled us. You told us a border bill, and everybody in the media said, look at the Republicans. They say they want to help the border, but none of them give a shit about the border, right? And America bought it. Then 3 weeks later, after you call it a border bill, 2 weeks later after you call it a border bill, you simply remove $20 billion out of it, $23 billion out of it, which the $23 billion was supposed to go to the border. Now you say, no, it's only a $195 billion bill. It's Ukraine, Taiwan, and what do you call it, Israel. What's the point? You never had the intention of fixing the border. And by the way, and then when you say the following, you're like, well, let's first fix this, and then we'll go fix the border. No, let's fix the border first, then let's go fix the border.
I agree with you. Okay. I would rather them pass a border bill before this bill.
Then perfect.
I'm with that.
But they're not doing
But that's not what they proposed.
That's not the point.
You're asking which one I'd rather do. I'd rather do both.
No. You
it's
said
domestic and foreign agenda.
No, you said.
So you guys are acting like we can only in America first.
I'm simply stating what you said. You said, let's first get this $95 billion, and then let's go focus on the border.
No,
how's the border not the first one?
Am I a freaking senator? Am I the person proposing this bill? We're reacting to the news of the day. They passed this bill in the Senate.
Why are they so out of touch? Technically, they're not out of touch. What he's saying was actually true. A lot of Americans do feel this way. But it's because people like him tell them to feel this way. That's why.
That's what we're discussing. Believe me, I would much rather them focus on the border, but they're not. Why? Ask yourself why they're not putting the border first.
Because they don't give a shit about us. They want
we know the Democrats want an open border policy. And Trump, what is Trump doing? Basically saying, do not pass a border bill. Why? Because it's politics. He doesn't want a border bill because he wants to run on the fact that migrants are running into our country.
Yeah, yes. Hello, yes.
Like it's a open border situation, which it is. So he wants to run on that.
Adam, let me
That's his agenda. I would much rather, to be super freaking clear here, I would much rather them pass a border bill first. But that's not what they did. They did a foreign aid package.
Yeah.
So we're commenting on that.
No, but the trend, the continuous trend is the world comes before America.
Yep.
That's the continuous trend. That is the level of frustration with the...
You can walk and chew gum at the same time. It doesn't have to be one of the... It's a whole ass country, my dude. You should know this as a business owner, right? Or even as an individual. That's something that we can apply at all levels. Why didn't you pay your rent? Bro, I had to pay my cell phone bill. You can't do both at the same time? Why don't I ever see you on like Saturday, Sunday? Bro, I work Monday through Friday. Okay, well, what are you doing on the weekend? The fuck?
American people.
Thank you.
That the world comes before America. That is bullshit. If you and I are friends, no matter how good of a friend I am to you, your wife comes first. Your kids comes first. You take care of your family. Then if you can help me, help me. But my job, your job is to take care of your family first. The job of somebody here, if I have the resources I'm investing into Vitamin and PBD Podcast and David Consulting and Connect and everything we're building, imagine if I'm like, nah, forget about this money. Let me do it here. Let me give it to this guy. Let me give it to this guy. And then we get smaller. We have fewer resources. The reason why we have more resources here is because we keep reinvesting into it. America is not reinvesting in protecting us at the southern border, but you don't feel it because there is no southern border in Miami. There is no southern border in Fort Lauderdale. There is nobody coming from the bottom except for maybe Cuba, and we haven't had that since the Muriel boat lift in 1979. We don't have that here, so it's not felt. Rest of America is feeling it, and it's getting very frustrating where politicians are manipulating. Now, if this goes to the House, what do they need? 218? They need 218? What was the number they said? If they need 218, and I don't know if it's going to pass or not, but if this passes, this is more of a reason where you see this is not about Republicans and Democrats. This is all about establishment and anti-establishment, because if Republicans don't have the backbone to stand strong to say, we will entertain a bill like this after we deal with the border, after we protect us first, then there is no lack of, a proper negotiation there. No one's doing a strong arm negotiation from the Republican side. The Republicans should stick together and say, listen, man, fix the damn border first, then let's talk Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. That's all I'm saying.
But that's not what they did. So that's not what we're talking about. Believe me, the old I can walk and chew gum at the same time?
Yes.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yes, thank you.
Right here. I would much rather the Senate propose a border bill first.
But it's unbelievable that they did it.
We're in agreement here.
I know.
Guys.
I'm with you.
You're acting like I'm fucking being an asshole. I agree with you.
You are.
No.
Okay, how am I being an asshole, Tom? Because I'm commenting on the fact that
you're not commenting. You're not commenting. You've been running over people for 20 damn minutes, and you.
Oh my god, bro! It's a 1v3. Why are conservatives so soft? Baby soft. This guy's eating Gerber food in between shots. Like Jesus.
You reset arguments. Oh, so we do nothing. That's such a lazy retort. Why don't we come back to what's going on here? This is establishment versus anti-establishment. Anti-establishment.
I'm glad they're finally admitting it. Thank you. Yes. Welcome to my analysis from 2 years ago. Yes, it is just establishment. That's literally your entire platform. I'm anti-establishment. Thank you.
We want a line item veto. We want a balanced budget amendment, so this can't go on unchecked. Establishment, it's not a bill, it's a deal. And a deal contains all kinds of other provisions, as you just pointed out, that J.D. Vance said in an op-ed, and he's absolutely correct. There's earmarks, there's provisions, there's pork, there's a bunch of stuff. And then they put a branding on it to flow to the media to deceive you and redirect your attention from what's really going on in there. Do I think there should be money for Iron Dome in there? I do. But to get Iron Dome, does somebody that feels that strongly about it say, oh, but I also have to agree to this? That's the way these deals are made. They're not bills anymore. They're establishment deals that have a bunch of stuff in them. And I'm sure...
Wow. Can somebody link me Tom Ellsworth? Can somebody link me his impassioned cries against Donald Trump and the Republicans when they play these games with the budget or with the debt ceiling, when our government got shut down because they wouldn't do this without negotiating other sorts of legislative actions? Can somebody link me that? I know he has it, because there's no way that he's complaining about a relatively normal legislative procedure where bills are tied to other things all the time. There's no way he's complaining about that, but he didn't complain about those other things, right? There's no way, right? There's no way that would be the case, right?
Zelensky is very pleased that he got the relief from it, because the spring collection from Louis Vuitton is looking pretty good. And they're going to there'll be corruption, and they're buying, and they're doing these things. It's flowing out. It's terrible. I go back to what Trump said about NATO, and your argument, I think, was lazy. What, do we do nothing? No, we don't do nothing. Trump said, I'm all in on NATO. You are our friends, you are our allies. But in the middle of the administration, what did he say? You have to pick up the check, and I want you to pay your fair share. And Trump was back, I got stuff with my country that I'm going to deal with first. I'm not going to leave you behind. I'm not going to abandon my foreign policy and my friends and my allies, but I'm going to take care of America first. But you, if I participate and I help you in NATO, you got to pick up the check. These were not island nations with 2 palm trees with a hut. These were thriving economies that have resources and the ability to pay the check. And they wanted us to just keep flowing it out. That's why he went toe-to-toe with Germany and say, pick up the check. That is foreign policy. America first, work on the things in America, work on the things that matter to us, and on the foreign stage, find an equitable way that one thing I'll correct you on, Vinny, one thing. You said tax money.
What were his full statements here? Hold on.
This is Bill with the 24-hour critical response team. What's your emergency?
Hi, this is Greg Price, and I am a USCCA member, and I just had to use force to defend myself and my family from an intruder.
Greg, Greg, are you and your family safe?
Yes, we're safe. I followed the training.
Have you called the police yet?
Yes, I followed the instructions on my member card.
Very good. Greg, I'm going to set you up with an attorney who's going to meet you down at the station and walk you through the entire interrogation.
Go to
Oh my God.
uscca.com/safe and get educated, trained, and insured.
The former president told his supporters yesterday that he would encourage Russia to do, quote, whatever the hell they want to any NATO member country that did not meet its spending obligations. Take a listen to how he put it to his supporters in South Carolina yesterday.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
Why would you say
now, Mano,
this?
I mean, just a stunning admission from the former president. He's essentially saying that he would not abide by the collective defense clause in that agreement. Now, I do also just want to point out that Trump has long held the view that NATO is a drain on American resources.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not tax money. It's future debt, and it's big stacks of it that affects the long-term monetary system with an impact, which is exactly what happens with Russia shifting the currencies they're using to do trade. It's all interconnected. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little upset here, but Tom, I've been quiet for 20 minutes, and I'm telling you, I think we got to keep our eye on the ball and what's really going on here.
Tom, I appreciate your passion and your wisdom. I do. But, you know, Vinny wants to give zero.
Yep.
Cool. That's Vinny's opinion. Yep. Zero money for anybody. Let's say there is a border bill. Let's just say there is. We all should hope one. We all want that, yes? You said that you would support the Iron Dome. Okay, they're going to give how much? $14 billion to Israel. Tell me an amount.
I said the guys that supported Iron Dome get cornered and they have to vote on a deal.
I get it.
It's not a bill. It's a deal.
Okay, a deal. I get it. It's a proposal.
But it's a bunch of money for other
it's
stuff.
It's a foreign aid package. It's a bill. It's a deal. We're semantics.
Foreign aid.
It's not semantics. If I want to help
Tom,
Israel,
here's my
and I said, why can't we just vote on that? Senator Tom, I'm not going to let you vote on Iron Dome. If you want Iron Dome, then I got to get this. And I'm cornered. That's the way it works.
I understand that. So how much money would you give to Ukraine? How much money would you give to Taiwan? How much money would you give to Israel? How much money would you give to these allies of ours? Vinny's at zero. How many are you at? The U.S. Senate is at 95.
I don't have a budget in front of me, but the first thing I'd be taking care of is the United States of America and our border.
We've already said that. Okay, you're evading the question. Just
I'm not evading the question.
Foreign aid policy.
I don't have a
zero. The U.S. Senate is at 95. Yep. What number are you at?
Ukraine is the most resource-rich and corrupt country. We could have given them support and give them things and give them arms and also have a way for them to pay it back and have them a way to participate in the solution. Do I have a spreadsheet to tell you what I would do? How much would you...
Wait, so you'd give them loans then instead of...
You do this.
Tom, you're the biz doc. You probably do have a spreadsheet.
No, I don't. But I would take care of America first, and I would make a rational approach.
Let me ask you a question. Say he says $5 billion. Say he says $20 billion. What's your follow-up question? I'm actually curious what your follow-up question is.
I want to know if his number's zero is what I'm trying to get at. Is the number zero?
I just said it wasn't.